Bien sûr, bonsoir à vous, bonsoir à tous, chers amis, soyez les bienvenus à l'instant dans ce live, soyez les bienvenus dans ce moment spécial que nous voulons ce soir. Et nous vous souhaitons à vous, nous souhaitons à tous et à toutes bien sûr de s'installer, de vous installer confortablement et de trouver vraiment judicieux de nous retrouver ici ce soir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great moment. We are very happy to receive you and say that it's a great moment for you, even for us, because we should try to analyze this today, the speech of Mr. Tchiroma that he decided to bring, to give up, to give it to us this morning, and we should try to listen the speech of our president-elected 2025 in our country, Cameroon, Mr. Tchiroma Bakary, because this morning we tried to make it in French. Now we must try to make it in English. Why? Have occasion to understand you, to listen your opinion, to listen what you think about of this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakary. What is the role you can give to this opportunity today? So many things have been said by Mr. Tchiroma Bakary, and now we just want to know, what do you think? What do you think about? What's your opinion? How is the road that we can use now to go far away and bring back our what we need for our country? I will have opportunity today to receive Armel Mbappé. I know that my English, I try to be serious with my English, but she has an English which is better than my own, and we should receive her today to discuss with her around this topic on this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakary. Ladies and gentlemen, let me call you now to open your ears and listen the speech of this day, Mr. Tchiroma Bakary.
Cameroonian of Cameroon, Cameroonian of the diaspora, dear compatriot ladies and gentlemen, I am President Tchiroma. From last October 12th, the day you entrusted me with the governance of our nation, to July 2026, we are 8 months away from the election, and still the will of the people is to be enforced. The outgoing regime, as worn out as its progenitor, disregard the end of all things and is convinced that through charms and the use of iron and fire, it can break the people's will, maintain a decaying regime, the undisputed cause of the Cameroonian people's misfortune. Faced with the impossibility of keeping the consciousness of over 30 million of Cameroonians under hypnosis or anesthesia, the regime, in a bid to survive, indulges in the illusion of omnipotence. But above all, like an epidemic that spares no region, it is spreading a massive campaign of arrest, harassment, imprisonment, and torture on a very large scale against anyone who demands, struggle, or fight for respect of the truth of the ballot box. Sadly for the regime, it is the entire nation that demands respect for the truth of the ballot box. This demand was the very reason for the arrest and imprisonment of Jacques Bertrand Mang, held by a police officer without legal grounds, merely because his videos and denunciation are disturbing. The same is true of the mayor, Joseph Espoir Billon, summoned for the Tuesday, July 7 at 2 p.m. for a crime of intent by the same people who from last October 12, the day you entrusted me with the governance of our nation, to July 2026, we are 8 months away from the election, and still the will of the people is to be enforced. The outgoing regime, as worn out as its progenitor, disregard the end of all things and is convinced that through charms and the use of iron and fire, it can break the people's will and maintain a decaying regime, the undisputed cause of the Cameroonian people's misfortune. Faced with the impossibility of keeping the consciousness of over 30 million of Cameroonians under hypnosis or anesthesia, the regime, in a bid to survive, indulges in the illusion of omnipotence. But above all, like an epidemic that spares no region, it is spreading a massive campaign of arrest, harassment, imprisonment, and torture on a very large scale against anyone who demands, struggle, or fight for respect of the truth of the ballot box. Sadly for the regime, it is the entire nation that demands respect for the truth of the ballot box. This demand was the very reason for the arrest and imprisonment of Jacques Bertrand Mang, held by a police officer without legal grounds, merely because his videos and denunciation are disturbing. The same is true of the mayor, Joseph Espoir Billon, summoned for the Tuesday, July 7 at 2 p.m. for a crime of intent by the same people who ordered the assassination of President Anissé Ekane. I would like to remind you of the detention of Joachim Chamini, a companion of Anissé Ekane. The same is the true for Parfait Bvoum, Lokman Baba Kassim, Brice Tuo, and Jibril de Poli. All these are merely the visible tip of an immense iceberg of political prisoners, numbered in hundreds and even thousands, scattered across several prisons, subjected to inhumane treatments, to torture by starvation, and condemned to a slow and irreversible death. This regime has turned Cameroon into an open-air prison. And because this situation offends human conscience, the Christian Church, through Bishop Cleda, is rising up vehemently against this barbarity and demand the release of all these political prisoners. Dear compatriot, ladies and gentlemen, following the Christian Church lead, and because all Cameroonians demand respect for the truth of the ballot box, I would like, on behalf of the entire Cameroonian people, to salute the courage and commitment of all the national religious denominations which, through their prayers and actions, are in turn demanding the truth of the ballot box and the release of all political prisoners. Dear compatriot, ladies and gentlemen, this regime of gangsters and barbarian, which remains deaf to the people suffering and obeys only the commands of Lucifer himself, will not only fail to heed the call for liberation from wherever it comes, but even worse, it will intensify repression, spreading even more horror and terror as a sine qua non condition for its own survival. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the men of God speak to us of liberation of political prisoners. And I add, over 30 million Cameroonians are political prisoners whose liberation calls on believers of all faith, on civil society organization, on men and women of honor and courage, wherever they may be, so that as a part of a general mobilization together, we may liberate our nation or our people. Ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriots, this is a matter of honor, a matter of survival, a matter of judgment before history, because the legacy we leave to posterity must not be seen as a counter-model, but rather as an example to be exalted, to be followed. Because of the sacrifice we will have made to free our nation from the satanic enslavement of a group of individuals who feed on the blood of the innocent and the suffering of the people. In their delusion, they are convinced that through incantation, ritual, and magical sacrifices, they can bewitch the entire Cameroonian people, neutralize and destroy the will of the people right off October 12, 2025, and turn the page on that historic date. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an awful error. They are gravely mistaken. The Cameroonian people is that people of conqueror and warrior, resilient in adversity, standing firm and upright in the face of the storm. These people knows that Biya has established a state-run gangsterism, has established a mafia-like regime of which he is a godfather, and that all the evidence of the plundering of gold, gas, and oil, the massacre and plundering of our forest, the sale of a large part of our lands to European and Asian, the embezzlement of tens of thousands of billions of francs for the benefit of his relatives and associates, all the evidence of this denunciation has been compiled, analyzed, and made available to Cameroonians so that they may understand the cause, so they may know the source of the indescribable tragedy in which our nation, our people, find themselves. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriots, you elected me so that together we would build change. But first, we must liberate our nation. Biya and his team must relinquish the corridor of power. Despite the fact that he suffered a humiliating defeat in the presidential election that he himself organized, he refuses to yield to the will of the people, and instead of stepping down, he threatens, intimidates, arrests and imprisons the protesters, kills, and does so openly in full view of everyone and the entire international community. The Cameroonian people, persecuted by the regime, has the right and the legitimate duty to free themselves. And according to the instrument of the United Nations on Human Rights and the African Charter on Human and People Rights, the Cameroonian people have the right to choose the instruments most appropriate to this end. Dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen, we are over 30 million Cameroonians. They are a handful of individuals. We constitute a human tide, a tsunami that absolutely nothing can resist. Rise up, Cameroonian people. Rise up, my dear compatriots. Our strength lies in our unity. Our strength lies in the indescribable suffering that Biya's regime imposes on us. We have had enough of Biya's regime. We want no more of it. We can no longer put up with it. Enough is enough. Elsewhere in the world, dear compatriots, we have seen what the unity and solidarity of people can achieve. Indeed, under the rule of a dictatorship less cruel than ours, we have seen the people of Mali, Senegal, Niger, Burkina Faso, Madagascar, Tunisia, and Egypt, and elsewhere in the world stand in solidarity with their defense and security forces who refuse to fire on a sovereign people who are masters of their own destiny. We have seen these people rise as one, take their destiny into their own hands, and free themselves from dictatorship. Dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to keep an appointment with ourselves, with our destiny, and to show humility and courage by following the footsteps of our illustrious predecessor. Yes, the Cameroonian people are ready for this appointment with liberation, which requires the participation of the entire nation, and it is for these reasons that I would like to address a very important component of this nation, our defense and security forces. Dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen in uniform, if yesterday Your sacrifice served the cause of the people. Today, that sacrifices serves the hidden interests of a small handful of individuals who have signed in a pact with the devil and who engage in an ignominy that cannot be named decently. Wake up, men and women in uniform. Wake up, defense and security forces. Wake up, I say. Be aware of facts. Be aware of the gravity of the situation. Unknowingly, you now instill fear in the people. The people no longer trust you because you have become the unyielding guardians of theft, rape, of predation, of the destruction of our economy, and the paralysis in which our country now finds itself. Today, everyone knows that things are very bad, terribly bad. Everyone demands respect for the truth of the ballot, but everyone also knows that the slightest demonstration recalling the October 12th date will be violently repressed by forces that have ceased to be loyal to the people in order to bow to the demand of the predator. Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, you yourself, since you voted for me at nearly 70%, and the popular vote itself stands at close to 72%. How is it that you fail to realize that those giving these orders are illegal, illegitimate, and that by obeying them you are desecrating and profaning the sacrifices you have made in service of our nation? Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, one must be clearly acting in bad faith to refuse to see that this regime has come to its end, that the end is here because we are at the close of an era. No mantra, no incantation can slow down, let alone reverse the universal order. Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, in my capacity as a President-elect of the Republic of Cameroon, I ask you to reconcile with your people. I ask you to be on the right side of the history. I ask you to stand immersed with the people because following the example of what other people have done, tomorrow I will call for a general mobilization so that our defense and security forces, standing with the people, may uphold the ideals of democracy, celebrate the mystic of reconciliation and reunion, and lay the first stone in the building of change.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome again. Tonight we turn our attention to this speech that is already generating intense debate across Cameroon and beyond. And on this July 26, President Tchiroma delivered a highlight charge address touching some of the country's most sensitive political issue. He spoke of political change, alleged that his electoral victory has been stolen, you know it, and condemned what he described as the action of the thief who had deprived the people of their choice, and issue an direct appeal to the nation's armed forces, urging them to stand with the Cameroonian people. His remark raised a profound question about the country's political future, the legitimacy of the institution, the role of the military in times of national uncertainty, and the aspiration of millions of citizens calling for change. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. We're free now to talk about this speech with someone, with Ms. Armelle Mbappé. I don't know if she's there. Armelle Mbappé, good evening. You are welcome.
Good evening, Michel, and good evening.
I don't understand you. What is the problem? Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
You are getting me, but I have a problem to have correct sound with you in my... What is the problem? I don't know. I don't understand you in my earphone. Are you getting me now?
I'm getting you. I have no problem.
Are you getting me now?
Yes.
No, she don't get me.
I'm getting you, I have
yes,
no problem.
I listen to you, but it's too small.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong.
What is the problem? What is the problem with me? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me move it. Let me move it now. Okay? Are you getting me like this?
Yes, I have no technical problem anyway.
It's good now. So you're welcome, Armelle. We just want to talk about this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari tonight, and we need to take some ideas, some opinion around this speech. What can you say? What is the message that you have as a resolution for you, or that you think that is very important for our compatriot, dear compatriot, please?
Okay, there are so many things that can be said about President Tchiroma's address. This is a wake-up call. This is a president-elect sounding the bell for Cameroonians, because we are not going back. We are not going to back off. We have decided to do away, to unseat the old dictator who is now sick in Switzerland. We decided to unseat him on October 12th last year. And this is our choice. This is our decision. So what President Tchiroma is doing here is to stir the minds of Cameroonians, is to stir the Cameroonian people and tell them that, hey, we did something on October 12th, we got that victory, and we are not going to forsake it. We want it to be enforced, to be implemented in Cameroon. So in this speech, you have many moves. First of all, he talked about the electoral legitimacy. President Tchiroma is the president-elect of Cameroon. No one can change this. The whole world knows this. All Cameroonians are aware that Cameroonians, the majority of them, about 72%, have chosen a new leadership, a new leader in the person of Issa Tchiroma Bakari. That vote cannot be ignored, because that vote is backed by clear and irrefutable evidence. Everybody, I can refer you to the Facebook page of President Tchiroma 2025, or Daniel Esisima's Facebook page, or Sage Anango. They made calculations there with statistics, and this victory is undeniable. The whole world knows. So President Tchiroma is telling us, and this is the truth, that the regime has come to its end. Biya's government is here described as a worn out, a dying governance that is at an end cycle. Yes, they are unable to change that truth, because the truth is naked. It stands before all of us. This dictatorship is a decadent one, and no one can deny this. Second thing is President Tchiroma talked about is political repression and prisoners. We have many prisoners, about 3,000 people in detention for nothing, because they are demanding the integrity of the 12th of October vote, and they are they said that Tchiroma won. That is even the reason why Anisete Kane died, because he was demanding that integrity, and he asserted that President Tchiroma won on 12th October, which is the truth. So many people are in detention because of the truth of the ballot box, and many people have died, unfortunately. And it is the fault of this regime, this criminal regime. President Tchiroma even draw up a detailed list of many people who were arrested, and that is only the tip of the iceberg, because we have so many people that are not that are undocumented, that were arrested by this regime, this in their repressive madness, and in their bid to try to silence and cancel people. We also have the religious endorsement. He talked about the bishop Kleda. Yes, that bishop also asserted that Tchiroma won, and it is the truth. That is the least we can even expect of a religious authority, to speak the truth. And Bishop Lado, the priest, the Catholic priest, also said it, and he even published some of the record sheets. I say the priest Ludovic Lado, who is in the US, he published that on his page. You can go and check. The evidence is still there. Now, we also have the demonization of the regime. This regime is a demonic, is a satanic, and a very dark regime. Yes, the regime we are dealing with in Yaoundé. The President Tchiroma used a very strong language.
It's the same idea with Mr. Tchiroma. It's the same thing that he had in this speech today. Huh?
Yeah, President Tchiroma talked about state gangsterism, because it is a regime of gangsters. They are thieves. They are stealing money. They are stealing our children. They are stealing our votes. They are professional thieves. So it is a regime of gangsters. Yes.
Stealing our life also. Huh?
Yeah. He even went further. He said that they have signed a partnership with the devil himself, because they are behaving like devils. A devil can only give birth to devils, and this is what we are seeing with these people. So we can only agree with President Tchiroma, who is calling for a popular unity of the over 30 millions of Cameroonians. Because these people that are harassing us, these people that are cheating us and stealing all the money, they are only a handful of people, a few families, but they are taking every resources, everything, to the detriment of the majority, more than 95% of the population that we are in Cameroon. So references were also made to regional uprisings because we have gotten a number of them in Africa, in countries like Mali, Senegal, Niger, Burkina Faso, Madagascar, Tunisia, Egypt. These are role models. These are illustrations that we have. And these are things that happen in this 21st century. We can also follow those footsteps and regain our liberty and take back our country from these dangerous hands. So direct appeal was made to the defense and security forces to join the people, to join the Cameroonian people, because over 70% of the military, the gendarmes, and the police in the barracks voted for Tchiroma, which means that this vote agrees with the majority of Cameroonians at home and in the diaspora. So there is no reason why these people would turn their guns, their arms against Cameroonians. They cannot, they shouldn't shoot at Cameroonians because Cameroonians cast the same vote as the military, as in the barracks. There is no reason. It is this cannot be understood that in the barracks they voted for Tchiroma. The majority of Cameroonian people, they also voted for Tchiroma. So all of us must agree. The people in uniform must agree with all the Cameroonian people to unseat Paul Biya, to topple this regime once and for all. There is no reason why they should repress, they should obey to unlawful orders from this regime. So, in a nutshell, what President Tchiroma is telling us is that part of the job has been done. Part of the work is well done by the Cameroonian people. Now we have to finish that work. We have to finish that work and force these people to respect our choice, to respect our voice, and to leave that governance. We don't want them anymore. They have messed up the whole country and they are unable to fix anything. So President Tchiroma with the Cameroonian people, we are telling Paul Biya, your time is over. Your time is up. We cannot no longer put up with you. The only thing you have to do is to go, is to leave. And when you leave, there is accountability because you cannot mess up with the resources of Cameroon and go free. Okay, I will stop here for now.
Thank you so much, Armel. I don't know if Nelson, are you there? Do you speak English?
Yeah. Good evening, Michel.
Good evening. Let me. I have a question for you. Around this speech of Mr. Tchiroma of this morning, President Tchiroma appealed to armed forces to stand alongside to Cameroonian people. How should this statement be understood? What do you think about it, please?
Okay, thank you. Well, before answering this question, I would first of all like to thank you for this special edition that you've made possible for most of our Anglophone brothers and sisters to relate.
You're welcome, my dear brother.
It's just special, and I really appreciate things. So, because regarding the question you've just asked, I believe this is actually a wake-up call for the military personnel, the defense and security forces, to actually go in the same direction as that of the Cameroonian people. They shouldn't follow illegitimate orders from the illegitimate regime of Mr. Biya. So it's actually a sort, I would say it's a wake-up call, and it's also a warning, because the president-elect is conscious of the fact that within our army, our defense and security forces, there are some milices that have been used by this dictatorial.
Let's go. Continue. Let's go. Continue.
Okay, so they've been used by this dictatorial regime to oppress the Cameroonian people, and the president-elect is once more calling on these people who have decided to serve the dictator instead of serving the people to join the people in order to enforce the will that they decided to enact on October 12th. So it's actually something that's very, very powerful as a message. And it's not the first time that the president-elect is calling on the military personnel, the defense and security forces to join the people. So if we can recall to his past speeches, you will notice that there were moments that within the speech, he will actually call on the defense and security forces not to obey the illegitimate orders of this illegitimate regime. So the president-elect is once more calling on these defense and security personnel to actually respect the people's will, because it's all about respecting the people's will. It's the sovereign people who decide who has the authority to rule over them, and it's not the other way around. So I believe this I would say I believe this particular message that was addressed this morning is not just a wake-up call, but it's also a warning, because the people are ready to go on the field, because the people are ready to take their destinies in their hands and free themselves from the dictatorship. Because we will no longer be warning the militias like, leave the dictator and join the people. Now it's either you join the people or you face the consequences that will come, because 30 million Cameroonians will not be held hostage for more than 44 years, and you guys are still colliding with these dictators. It's unacceptable. We can't actually continue to live like that. So it's actually a warning, in my own opinion, right now. So he's warning them to take the right decision, to be on the right side of the history, because we are writing history now. We are making a difference right now. Things will never be the same again. So that's what I had to say on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I just was Mr. Finance Durab. Good evening. You are welcome. Dr. Florenzana, are you there with us? Your microphone is closed. Can you open it? Dr. Florenzana, are you there? No. Mr. Saga Jibril, good evening. Mr. Saga Jibril, good evening. Mr. Saga Jibril, good evening. You are not there. We continue with another guest, and now we receive Mr. Bangaman. Bangaman, good evening and welcome. You are welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Michel NGATCHOU.
Very happy to invite you. Very happy to come here to try to explain what you have understand around this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari of this morning. What were your main takeaway from President-elect Tchiroma Bakari addressed to the Cameroonians people today? We noticed that his tone seemed to have changed significantly, it's better to say like this, significantly, and was quite different from what you have usually heard from him. What do you think about explain this shift, Mr. Bangaman? Do you have a kind of explication?
Well, I haven't listened to what Issa Tchiroma, his latest coming out. I haven't listened to it, but I've heard some rumors about what he said, and I
Yes.
think I just heard some rumors, and I think what he said was the right thing to do. And I think, about 2 days ago, I already did a video to alert Cameroonians that it's time for them to stand up. 2 days ago, I did a video, and I said almost the same thing that he said, that it's time for them to stand up, because this is the time. It's now or never.
It's now or never.
Okay, it's now or never. So I would like to proceed in Pidgin, because I guess those who are going to stand up in Cameroon, most of them, they're used to with Pidgin. So I think that if you have to speak to our people to stand up, those who are going to stand against this regime, I think the better option for us is to do it in Pidgin. What do you think, Michel NGATCHOU?
Mr. Tchiroma said today, say that it's time to wake up and take another part of our future together. What's your opinion around Cameroonians now? How do you see the Cameroonians now?
If they are ready or not?
Yes, they are they already or not?
Well, I guess everybody can't be ready. Some are ready, some are not yet ready, some are completely ignorant, some do not care. We have all type of people. But I think that the majority of the Cameroonian people have recognized that it is about time for them to react. So if the game is well planned, I think that is going to there are going to be something. If it's well planned, it can be effective. You just have to keep on passing the message, keep on recalling on Cameroonian people people that it's time to stand up and act. I would thereby like to proceed in English, in Pidgin. I'm sorry, in Pidgin.
Without problem, let's go.
I think Pidgin will be more easier for those who are in Cameroon. Because this video, there are people that will always record it to post it on certain platforms. Most guys in Cameroon are more interested when it's spoken in Pidgin. So I would like to have a question from you so that I can proceed.
No, you can say the same thing in Pidgin to express what you need to our compatriot on Cameroon on Pidgin. Let's go.
Well, dear Cameroonians, dear brothers, you see, it will be important to say sometime them to listen to have our own lives, to get life where they be talking at Pidgin or English, So sometimes it's very important.
Someone like me, I don't know to speak Pidgin.
Don't know how to speak.
My former English teacher, Mr. Henry Danjimoma, said in his class one day that I say, please sir, I talk sir. He said that, oh, Mr. NGATCHOU, never speak Pidgin in my class. Are you getting me? So during this time,
That was a great mistake.
During this time,
Pidgin should even be our first language. We should have French and Pidgin, not even English. Yeah, we have to differentiate ourselves from others. Speaking the white man English, it doesn't make you anything better. Yeah, because if it was making us better, we would have been in a better position in Africa. So the language hasn't been brought us anywhere. I'm that type of person that I'm not full of complexation. That is why I've been doing videos for a very long time with French, even though my French is like granite. But I've been coping with it. Okay, as I already talk.
Let's go. Continue. I thought to listen you. Let's go.
Master, for Cameroon, that time these people they get to react. Some people that war for Nozo na 10 years now, and I feel imagine how many people they don't die for Nozo. Now opportunity this will get them. Two will be the final. We don't get them since the 12th. Now all we need is to come together and put this thing to an end. No, stop it to say no, we want to separate. No, you people have tried for 10 years, nothing has happened. Huh? And you don't see say the world not the react. The world don't give a damn. Now only their interest they protect them and nothing else. So the people that they get to change the thing now, we even inside Tchiroma in Gambia, you don't try your best. You don't try with international community and all those stuffs. Nothing happened. So that is why inside Tchiroma don't decide for stand up. Tell when I say now time this will react. Now get to adopt courage. I know say my people then always been a courageous people them. We just need the other side to stand to accompany and we'll put this thing to an end fast. If they want to turn into water, we'll turn into water. If not the one, because maybe the one is not the one side. Because if Cameroonians not stand up outside, start to shout water, start the act like you know our boys are the act for the other side. If we not start act, so that put an office shake. If we shaking them, they see the whole Cameroon don't turn me the Amber boys. Now say and say they go retreat. They go retreat very fast because that thing that apple way already rotting. Just mind for shake that tree, that thing go fall for ground. Now be there for we don't even know whether I go come back for Cameroon. The other people they under total confused. They don't know what to happen. They don't Oswald Babo Cave and all that people under total confused. If Cameroon they stand to bam, other people they start running. Then the waka come out for Cameroon. And that's what we're supposed to do. But if we're not dead, they go knock the head, stick and reconstruct themselves back. And that's what they try to do. So now they're there for confusion, and now we come in and they're there for restart. Now we start to do small action them. Small, just take them to guerrilla tactic. Now small, I take and they penetrate them. Now we see if they start saying and say Cameroon they're not the wise. You just do some small action them. You just attack some small side them, put some small disorder. They say and say themselves they'll start think twice. That's so they'll start to follow that patron with them for Genevieve. They'll start to follow them and small. But if we they watch them, say we not know it, no, we not know what to do. The courage there, the determination there, you just remain say we wanna act. Issa Tchiroma don't talk. Now when I vote Issa Tchiroma. Now when I decide to vote, he don't talk. When I don't hear. If I not hear what you talk, if you even translate them to English, to Pidgin, any kind of language, we translate and give una. So when I saw it,
okay. Bangaman, before you go, let me know what are the chances that Tchiroma will be hurt by the country's armed forces?
The chances that Issa Tchiroma will be hurt by the country armed forces, well, it's 50-50. You know that Tchiroma had some people that were with him before the election and after the election. And Tchiroma won in so many.
He called them and asked to them that make what you know. Now people are afraid about your behavior. What is the chance that Mr. Tchiroma have now to be hurt by this country's armed forces?
As I said, Tchiroma has his people in the armed forces. Especially because I know that there's a great percentage of people in the armed forces that are from the north. And most of the people that are fidel to Issa Tchiroma. There's a truth that you can't hide, even though most of them are not speaking, but they know what is going on, and they are waiting for the better time to act. So when Tchiroma is pushing the people, the citizens, he knows what he's doing. Because if the citizens, if they start to act, he has armies that are going to finish the job.
Mbanga,
they are in between. They are inside the army. Yeah, Nelson, what did you say?
Yeah, just to go in line with what you were just saying right now, I just wanted to add, like, our president-elect, His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakari, he has the army, but not the entire army, because within the army there are armed militias. And these armed militias, I believe the message that was addressed today to the defense and security forces was specifically addressed to these armed militias that are still serving the dictator. He already knows that within the army.
I understand. You have right.
Yes.
You have right. So he was addressing himself to those who are still with the dictator. I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I think his message was meant to be addressed to the Cameroonian citizens.
Okay, let me remind that Mr. Tchiroma said that this compatriot vote for him by more than 17%. It's he has another opportunity to call them to continue to work with to grow up with Cameroonian people.
That he has opportunity to do what to. Does he have opportunity to work with the Cameroonian people?
Yes.
Of course. There's a great opportunity. There's a great chance. Cameroonian people are not blind. Cameroonian people are not ignorant. He knows what Cameroonian people know what is good for them. That is why they went and voted for Issa Tchiroma. Do you even Issa Tchiroma even won in Bia village? In so many places, even in the military bases. Okay. So I believe that something may happen. Something may happen. By the grace of God, something will happen. Especially now that Bia is down. The regime is falling apart. I'm very sure that something will happen.
Okay, that's good. Armel, are you there? Let me know. Do you have something to add around the speech of Nelson and Bangaman? Armel?
Oh, I fully agree with all that they have said. Now the choice is within the hands of the Cameroonian people and especially the armed forces, because you cannot go in the barracks and you choose to unseat a president and now you're still obeying to the illegitimate orders. There is no coherence. You have to be coherent with what you're doing. They know that if they are suffering today, because I also want to underscore that so many people, that is soldiers, gendarmes and policemen, they are suffering. They are even pushed into corruption because they cannot earn a living. Yes, the salaries that is being paid, the wages that they are getting from this government is not enough. And even when they have allowances, these top ranking officials there in the army, they will take half of the money. So the problem that the majority of the Cameroonian people is facing is still the same with armed forces. So we are fighting the same battle, and there is no reason for them to turn their arms against the people that are suffering in the same way. Yeah. These armed forces, they need to sit down and really think twice and reflect upon these issues, because the danger also, as Nelson was saying, it is a warning. Those that are taking illegitimate orders, those that are obeying them, they will have to answer, yes, when time comes individually, because at that point, you will not say that it is Betty Asomo or Galase Toga or Otulu or I don't know Bialo, all these monsters. You will not say that they are the people that gave me the orders. No, you are faced with your consciousness. Yes, you have to take a personal decision. It is a personal step, and knowing that you are accountable for what you're doing. So the ball is in their courts and they have to make a choice.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. And now, you're welcome, everyone, and thank you for sharing your view and opinion on President-elect Issa Tchiroma Bakari's speech today. Nelson, do you have something to add?
Yes, I have something to add. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Like, I will add the spiritual part of this struggle for liberation of our country, because the president-elect actually has been referring to prayer as something very, very important that we Cameroonians we really need to follow, because to overthrow such a dictatorship of over 40 years, which have actually gotten so into this satanic pact, it's not something that you will just rely on physical strength. No, it's not only the physical aspect that matters, it's the spiritual aspect that matters as well. So it's very important for us, as we are getting set to actually take on the streets, and actually overthrow this dictatorial regime. We need to prepare ourselves spiritually. We need to fast if possible. We need to pray. We need God's intervention, because we can't overthrow them without God.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm really calling on all Cameroonians, whether you are a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, no matter your religion, or even maybe if you are a traditionalist, you are worshiping ancestors. Please just join. Let us just join our energies, and let's use these spiritual powers and just overthrow this dictatorship for good. We are just so tired of it. It's now or never. We actually need to act, and we need to act on all the fronts. The war front, the struggle for liberation front, there is the physical and the spiritual front. So we need to be working and fighting for the liberation of our country on all these fronts with a lot of energy, with a lot of determination. It's very important. Otherwise, we won't be effectively overthrowing this dictatorship. So, Cameroonians, dear fellow compatriots, it's time for us to actually put an end to this. I don't even know how I can qualify this satanic regime, my dear journalist, Michel NGATCHOU. And when I think of how they've been destroying our nation for the past 43, 44 years, it simply disheartens me, and I even lack words to qualify them. They've done so much atrocities throughout our nation. When I look at the Northwest and Southwest, I'm speechless, honestly. He has damaged. There's no future. There's typically nothing going on. And we can't really afford to continue living in such conditions. We can't.
Okay, Michel.
We've gotten enough of it.
Yeah, Bangaman, please. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you because
Thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you.
I want to organize a little life also.
Without problem, brother. See you soon.
Oh, because before I leave, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for all the effort that you are putting in. Organizing a life in English. It means that you are really into it, and I really
Easy for me with my poor English.
I really feel your job. I really like what you are doing, and you're supposed to accompany and appreciate it.
Thank
So
you, man.
keep on going. I guess one day, I hope that one day we are going to see us in Cameroon celebrating us. Hey, Bagaman, c'était toi. Yeah, check that. I hope that one day will be possible.
I need it, brother.
Yeah, and Nelson and everybody.
Thank you, Diego.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay
Uh,
blessed, everybody.
We continue with you, Nelson. Just after Nelson, I will give you occasion to understand another to understand this speech again, and stay with us. We continue with Nelson, please.
Okay, so thank you once more.
To, to,
Well,
to give your conclusion, it's very important.
okay, yeah, my conclusion, yeah, okay. So conclusively, what I would just like to say is, dear fellow compatriots, we are now in the midst of the battle of our life, of our future. The most important battle that we need to fight as Cameroonians is this particular battle that lies ahead of us. We all know what we have to do. We all know who the enemy is. The enemy is Biya and his dictatorial partners who have been terrorizing
System.
Cameroonians. Yeah, exactly. So it's something that we should face now and put an end to it. So we need to actually go on the war front. When I talk on the war front, I mean the streets, because we will need to go on the streets with the state of mind of a unilateral action. So one action that goes in one direction, and until we are done with what we are going to do, we shouldn't go back home. Because as we are leaving our houses, as we are heading out to make sure we are liberating our country from the dictator and his allies, let's make sure we get the job done before we get back home. I'm telling you the truth. We are not going to test whether we can try to overthrow them. We are overthrowing them completely. So it's just a single chance. We are not really trying to test to see whether we can actually do something. No, fellow Cameroonians, it's a one opportunity, it's a single opportunity that we have, a unique life that we have. So we need to invest all our efforts in making sure this future action should yield the expected fruits that we need. That is the liberation of our nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear friend, my dear compatriot. I have this message. There is not fear for better condition, claiming together we can create the condition we need. It's true. I have another message, this message of Sergent Chef Marc Donald, who say in French that Betagerie, dont vous croyez vraiment que le changement viendra du Zambien. I don't know what is the problem of some Cameroonians. I don't know what's your problem. You don't think about that you can have this change. You don't want to have it. You want to see this Cameroonian who try to have the what we call in French souveraineté. You want to see them fall down. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not serious for you. Let me now give you opportunity to listen again this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari that he presents today. I want to say this morning, open your ears, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me with my poor English. I try, but open your ears. The message is very, very important for you. The message of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari, the president elected, you elect the president elect. You should understand it now. Let's go. Open your ears, please.
Cameroonian of Cameroon, Cameroonian of the diaspora, dear compatriot ladies and gentlemen, I am President Tchiroma. From last October 12, the day you entrusted me with the governance of our nation, to July 2026, we are 8 months away from the election, and still the will of the people is to be enforced. The outgoing regime, as worn out as its progenitor, disregard the end of all things and is convinced that through charms and the use of iron and fire, it can break the people's will and maintain a decaying regime, the undisputed cause of the Cameroonian people's misfortune. Faced with the impossibility of keeping the consciousness of over 30 million of Cameroonians under hypnosis or anesthesia, the regime, in a bid to survive, indulges in the illusion of omnipotence. But above all, like an epidemic that spares no region, it is spreading a massive campaign to arrest
The sound is no longer, we're no longer hearing the speech.
Sadly for the regime, it is the entire nation that demands respect for the truth of the ballot box. This demand was the very reason for the arrest and imprisonment of Jacques Bertrand Mang, held by a police officer without legal grounds, merely because his videos and denunciation are disturbing. The same is true of the mayor, Joseph Espoir Billon, summoned for the Tuesday, July 7 at 2 p.m. for a crime of intent by the same people who ordered the assassination of President Anissé Ekane. I would like to remind you of the detention of Jacob Chamini, a companion of Anissé Ekane. The same is the true for Parfait Bouvoum, Lokman Baba Kassim, Brice Tuo, and Jibril de Poli. All these are merely the visible tip of an immense iceberg of political prisoners, numbered in hundreds and even thousands, scattered across several prisons, subjected to inhumane treatments, to torture by starvation, and condemned to a slow and irreversible death. This regime has turned Cameroon into an open-air prison. And because this situation offends human conscience, the Christian Church, through Bishop Cleda, is rising up vehemently against this barbarity and demand the release of all these political prisoners. Dear compatriot ladies and gentlemen, following the Christian Church lead, and because all Cameroonians demand respect for the truth of the ballot box, I would like, on behalf of the entire Cameroonian people, to salute the courage and commitment of all the national religious denominations which, through their prayers and actions, are in turn demanding the truth of the ballot box and the release of all political prisoner. Dear compatriot, ladies and gentlemen, this regime of gangster and barbarian, which remains deaf to the people suffering and obeys only the commands of Lucifer himself, will not only fail to heed the call for liberation from wherever it comes, but even worse, it will intensify repression, spreading even more horror and terror as a sine qua non condition for its own survival. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the men of God speak to us of liberation of political prisoners. And I add, over 30 million Cameroonians are political prisoners whose liberation calls on believers of all faiths, on civil society organization, on men and women of honor and courage, wherever they may be, so that as a part of a general mobilization together, we may liberate our nation or our people. Ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriots, this is a matter of honor, a matter of survival, a matter of judgment before history, because the legacy we leave to posterity must not be seen as a counter-model, but rather as an example to be exalted, to be followed. Because of the sacrifice we will have made to free our nation from the satanic enslavement of a group of individuals who feed on the blood of the innocent and the suffering of the people. In their delusion, they are convinced that through incantation, ritual, and magical sacrifices, they can bewitch the entire Cameroonian people, neutralize and destroy the will of the people, right off October 12, 2025, and turn the page on that historic date. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an awful error. They are gravely mistaken. The Cameroonian people is that people of conqueror and warrior, resilient in adversity, standing firm and upright in the face of the storm. These people knows that Biya has established a state-run gangsterism, has established a mafia-like regime of which he is a godfather, and that all the evidence of the plundering of gold, gas, and oil, the massacre and plundering of our forest, the sale of a large part of our lands to European and Asian, the embezzlement of tens of thousands of billions of CFA for the benefit of his relatives and associates, all the evidence of these denunciations has been compiled, analyzed, and made available to Cameroonians so that they may understand the cause, so they may know the source of the indescribable tragedy in which our nation, our people, find themselves. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriots, you elected me so that together we would build change. We must liberate our nation. Biya and his team must relinquish the corridor of power. Despite the fact that he suffered a humiliating defeat in the presidential election that he himself organized, he refuses to yield to the will of the people, and instead of stepping down, he threatens, intimidates, arrest and imprison the protesters, kills, and does so openly in full view of everyone and the entire international community. The Cameroonian people, persecuted by the regime, has the right and the legitimate duty to free themselves. And according to the instrument of the United Nations on Human Rights and the African Charter on Human and People Rights, the Cameroonian people have the right to choose the instruments most appropriate to this end. Dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen, we are over 30 million Cameroonians. They are a handful of individuals. We constitute a human tide, a tsunami that absolutely nothing can resist. Rise up, Cameroonian people. Rise up, my dear compatriot. Our strength lies in our unity. Our strength lies in the indescribable suffering that Biya's regime imposes on us. We have had enough of Biya's regime. We want no more of it. We can no longer put up with it. Enough is enough. Elsewhere in the world, dear compatriot, we have seen what the unity and solidarity of people can achieve. Indeed, under the rule of a dictatorship less cruel than ours, we have seen the people of Mali, Senegal, Niger, Burkina Faso, Madagascar, Tunisia, and Egypt, and elsewhere in the world stand in solidarity with their defense and security forces who refuse to fire on a sovereign people who are masters of their own destiny. We have seen these people rise as one, take their destiny into their own hands, and free themselves from dictatorship. Dear compatriot, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to keep an appointment with ourselves, with our destiny, and to show humility and courage by following the footsteps of our illustrious predecessor. Yes, the Cameroonian people are ready for this appointment with liberation, which requires the participation of the entire nation, and it is for these reasons that I would like to address a very important component of this nation, our defense and security forces. Dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen in uniform, if yesterday your sacrifice served the cause of the people, today that sacrifices serves the hidden interests of a small handful of individuals who have signed in a pact with the devil and who engage in an ignominy that cannot be named decently. Wake up, men and women in uniform. Wake up, defense and security forces. Wake up, I say. Be aware of facts. Be aware of the gravity of the situation. Unknowingly, you now instill fear in the people. The people no longer trust you because you have become the unyielding guardians of theft, rape, of predation, of the destruction of our economy, and the paralysis in which our country now finds itself. Today, everyone knows that things are very bad, terribly bad. Everyone demands respect for the truth of the ballot, but everyone also knows that the slighted demonstration recalling the October 12th date will be violently repressed by forces that have ceased to be loyal to the people in order to bow to the demand of the predator. Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, you yourself, since you voted for me at nearly 70%, and the popular vote itself stands at close to 72%. And that by obeying them, you are desecrating and profaning the sacrifices you have made in service of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, one must be clearly acting in bad faith to refuse to see that this regime has come to its end, that the end is here because we are at the close of an era. No mantra, no incantation can slow down, let alone reverse the universal order. Ladies and gentlemen in uniform, in my capacity as a president-elect of the Republic of Cameroon, I ask you to reconcile with your people. I ask you to be on the right side of the history. I ask you to stand immersed with the people because following the example of what other people have done, tomorrow I will call for a general mobilization so that our defense and security forces, standing with the people, may uphold the ideals of democracy, celebrate the mystic of reconciliation and reunion, and lay the first stone in the building of change.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you receive us now, we say thank you because we try now to have this speech of Mr. President Tchiroma, who say Cameroonian and Cameroonians of the diaspora, and to dear compatriots, ladies and gentlemen, we listen it. Allez, nous allons vous dire merci, mesdames et messieurs, parce qu'en réalité, il était question pour nous ce soir de rester dans la loyauté de nos langues officielles, quoique nous ayons quelques soucis. Nous allons d'abord recevoir quelqu'un qui nous a retrouvé à l'instant. C'est le président Clou Armand. Mr. Clou Armand, you are welcome. What can we say around this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari today? What is the message that you have for you and for your compatriots, dear friend, please?
Okay, thank you, Michel. Thank you for the question. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well, without problem.
Okay. I just listened to the message of the president. I think it's a very powerful speech where we can describe it as like a
Are you there? I don't understand. We don't understand you, Mr. Clou Armand. We don't understand you. Do you have a problem with your phone or?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Let's go. Continue.
Okay. I'm just saying that I just listened to the speech of the president, and I think that this speech is very powerful in the fact that he's calling all the population to join hands together to fight the regime and to challenge the win of the 12, where people have decided to choose him as a president. And for me, this speech is very powerful, and all what I can say is to invite all Cameroonians to join hands together to see how we can change things in our country. Because as you say, we're all going through many difficulties, and we just need to be very, very responsible. Also, what I described in this message is the fact that he's calling the army to be responsible, to understand that people are the last people to decide for their future, and not to act as a aggressive army who we know sometimes shoot on people just because they want to protect those dictators. Yes, I think on my own side is a very powerful speech, and I really felicitate and I really congratulate the president. That's all I can say.
Thank you, my dear. The message around I want to say how can I say le message qu'il transmet, m'excusez, hein, le message qu'il transmet bien sûr au Camerounais en prenant des exemples sur des pays comme le Mali, le Sénégal, Madagascar. This kind of example, what do you think about it?
I think it's a very powerful, sometimes always take an example to describe a situation. It's very important to see a president taking an example as Madagascar, Senegal, and all those countries where people are joined hands together to fight for their destiny. It's a very important. Sometimes when you want to describe something, always take an example. And this methodology of communication with the president is very educative and very powerful. Anyone have to understand that some country, we are not trying, he's not trying to describe what's not possible. He's taking an example to show to the people that you can act, you can behave like these other people to free yourself. And it's very important. It's very important. It's a very academic speech on my own view.
He said that, I have this sentence which keep my mind. He said, dear compatriot, you elect me so that together we could build change. But first, we must liberate our nation. And when you talk about to liberate our nation, it's liberate our nation by this satanic regime. It's possible. Do you think that is possible with?
Yes. It's about unity. It's about unity, Michel. It's about unity.
Yes.
The president is coming. The president, what in his speech is trying to bring that one person cannot do this full job. It's about unity of the people. He's trying. Is his speech.
But let me continue. The president said that we have people of conquerors and warriors. Do you think that Cameroonians are really warriors now?
Of course. At the moment, we all in a very difficult situation where the president described it as a very warrior. Yeah, it's totally true. What we have to the speech of the president. If you want to go deeply about the speech, he's asking the symbiosis, the unity on all the forces of the country. That's what he's trying to bring out. If you see the president, he said that you choose someone on the 12th. You have to join your hand all together to fight for this person to come out, to take control of the country. And he's calling. If you see the speech of the president, he's calling the unity of the people. He's calling the conscientization of the army. That's the two facts which are very important to join together and to see how we can fight to construct another country. And it's very important. It's a very important, Michel. This speech of the president, anyone can go into it and take what you want to understand. The unity, the symbiosis, and an example of countries who are joined hands together to fight dictator.
Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you, my dear friend. I want to receive now Joy of Lord. Joy of Lord, good evening. You are welcome, my sister. How are you? Joy of...
Yes, good afternoon. I cannot be with you today. I'm going to my jobs. But
so
I'm here to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We receive also Kevin Ken. Good evening.
Also, Michel, I want to add something. Give me 1 second, please.
Let's continue. Let's go.
What I don't understand, when you listen to this speech of this president of Mr. Tchiroma, yes. I'm still wondering how come people can think that he's the peon, is the peon. I want to use the French word they're using. It's a peon of the regime. How can you see a president, a person describe, make a very heavy denunciation, and still thinking that he's here to play a game? That's something we need to bring out to make people understand that they have to come out of this suspicion. Mr. Tchiroma is not It's not here to make a play to play game. It's here to fight for the change of the country. That's what people have to understand. When you listen to this type of speech and you hear people saying that he's playing a game, it's a peon of a regime and all type of thing, you ask yourself that are we all listening the same thing? That's the question.
It's very difficult, my dear friend. Thank you. I don't know, Kevin. You're welcome. Do you want to speak in English, Kevin? Is possible to speak with you in English?
Yeah, honestly, I prefer French, but I will try to speak in English.
But it's very important to try in English. My also English is not correct. I don't have correct English like my dear friend President Tchiroma. But I try because we must do what we can do to present this speech to our compatriots on second language of our country. What is the message that you return of this speech of Mr. Tchiroma Bakari today, Kevin?
Okay, the message that I receive is that we guys, we Cameroonian, we gotta wake up. You
Yeah.
know, President Paul Biya has did so much bad things in Cameroon. 43 years, people are dying, people are suffering, but they don't care about that. So I think that um, President Issa Chiroma asked Cameroonians to wake up. He cannot do it alone. He will do it with all the Cameroonians. We guys have to, even in the diaspora, we have to continue to sensibilize the population. Even you, I greet you too much because you spend your time, you take your time to educate Cameroonians about the things who are disturbing in Cameroon. Every time if it's not in French, it's in English. I appreciate you for that so much, and I think that all the Cameroonians appreciate you because you take your time, you sacrifice your life for Cameroonians. So today is you. For example, you right now you're in exile. Today is you, but tomorrow it can be me and another one. But people, it's what I say. People have to focus and say that Bia must go. And they say in my traditional dialect, I don't know again the word. When is the wheel? They say something like that.
Dale.
Dale.
So they say when is the wheel? Is what? I forgot it. Yeah, I say when is the will? When you have like the will to do something, you gotta do it. So it's the most important message I want to explain to the Cameroonians. We guys have to wake up. We have to fight because even the army is the what he said is not bad. Even the army have to know that they are fighting for the wrong person. So if they are not fighting for the population, why are they there? They have to even the army have to ask them the fundamental question: why did they join the army? Some stuff like that. So it's what I've heard about the president is such a Roma. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Perhaps another question to you. Mr. Tchiroma said that we have over 30 million Cameroonians. They are a handful of individuals. We constitute a human tide, a tsunami that absolutely nothing can resist. What is the message we can send to the Cameroonians now to ask them, to call them and say, wake up now, now, and now?
The
Coming
only
from, coming
the
from
only
you.
message according for that view, the only message that I can say is that the more we are too much, the more we win the battle, right? So if we guys are just like 500 people, you cannot go and join people who are in one. I think the army of Cameroon is about 300,000. Even if we guys are 1 billion of Cameroonians at the street like that, they can't kill like 300,000 people, you know? Yeah, it's the fact. They can't kill them. So we guys have to wake up. They have 30 million, about 30, because now it's 40. 30 million of Cameroonian. So it's not all the Cameroonian we gonna do it. It's the fact. So now we guys have to wake up and say no, it's finished, and we have to take our future in our hands. You know.
I think that my dear compatriot, President Amon Kluliv, next the airport. Continue. We listen you.
So we have to take our future in our hand and say that no, it's finished. Mr. Porbia did too much bad for us, and we guys have to say no and just wake up. I think it's the message that he tried because he couldn't do it alone. He couldn't. He cannot be there in a tutti just alone like that. So it's why he every time tells to the Cameroonians that I'm there with you guys. We have to wake up. And I think that things are going on. I think that because most of them are going here everywhere in the world to try to sell their things. I know it's working. So in their mind, they knows that if Paul Biya is not coming back, there will be a real problem. It's in their mind. You know what I mean? So it was my point of view, Michel. And thank you very much for what you're doing.
I have this last question for you, please.
Okay.
Mr. Tchiroma say that to our compatriot. He say, "Wake up, men and women in uniform. Wake up, men and women in uniform. Wake up, defense and security forces. Wake up, I say, be aware of fact, be aware of the gravity of the situation. Wake up." There was 22% that decided to vote Mr. Tchiroma Bakari. Do you think that we have opportunity, that they have opportunity to listen, Mr. Tchiroma, and wake up now and decide to work now with Cameroonians and decided together to fight our future?
Yeah, obviously I think, but I know that the government
Fight
is
to our
trying.
future is better to say that is to
Yeah,
fight to our
I
future.
think that for all those armies guys, I think that the government is like using them for their own interest. But the main thing that I said is that they are not there for the interest of somebody. Even for Issa Chiroma, they are there for the interest of the population. We can't just say that you're a colonel or a just policeman and you try to kill a population. It's not fair. It's nonsense. So they have to know that the police and the army have to know that if they want, because they have voted 70%, if they want that the Cameroon change, they have to take their own responsibilities. Their own responsibilities is not like to kill people. They can just stay like that, and when the population is growing up, because it's going out, they just stay with the population just like that, not doing anything. But if they are trying to kill a population, is why it's very bad. It's
It's
very
not no.
bad because right now it's like you're working for Paul Biya, but you guys are not working for Paul Biya. You're working for the Republic of Cameroon. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, it's my
Thank you.
point of view.
Is
You're welcome.
thank you,
I
my
just
dear.
wanted to say again, Michel, thank you very much. Thank you. You did so well. Every day I left you even a message on WhatsApp. I just say thank you for the work that you're doing for the Cameroonians. Thank you very much.
We are working together, my dear. I'm not alone. I'm with you. I'm with Amel here, President Kluama, Nelson, and everyone. I'm not alone, my dear. We are together. Thank you so much, Mr. Kevin. In a few minutes, we should close this moment with you at Armel. Another message. Women, how do you see the woman in this message of President Tchiroma Bakari. Do you think that the message is they have received this message normally? Some confidence of women you are, please?
Of course, anytime President Tchiroma has been addressing the Cameroonian people, he will address men and then the ladies. The ladies are very important because we are mothers, we are daughters, we have a huge responsibility. When they are killing our men, those are our sons, our fathers, our brothers. We are the people putting to birth. So the pain is even more awful for us than for any other component of the population. Ladies are very important in this battle. And any Cameroonian lady listening to me here, now is the time. Now is the time for you to get into this fight as a woman that has a womb, as a woman that is fighting for your children, for your grandchildren, and for the younger generations. You shouldn't stay behind. You shouldn't sit back and watch other people. And I would even like to appreciate the Cameroonian women because many of them are taking big risk. Many of them are denouncing. They are addressing and facing this regime boldly. This is what we need to do, and we must continue because, as you know, many men in Cameroon, they are how do you call it? Many of these men, they have been converted into women. They are no longer men. They have lost their dignity. We have to speak the truth about this. And when men are not up to the expectations, women have to take the lead. We have women in the Bible like Deborah. Men were afraid, men were quivering, but this lady, she took the lead and she won a huge battle. So there is no battle under the sun that can overpower women. We have to use that energy and put it into this fight. This is our fight because when we are saying that we are calling the Cameroonian nation, it is women that build the nation because the first unit in a nation is family. And these families are being fed, they are being led, they are being taken care of by women. So, Cameroonian woman, Cameroonian girls, the youth, you have energy in you. We see how our sisters, our mothers, and all these ladies are suffering in the Northwest and Southwest. And this has lasted for 10 years. Now is the time to gather everything, every strength that you have, and get into the battlefield, because this is the wake-up call is to ask us women to get into the field. And an angry woman is a dangerous woman. So, Cameroonian woman, you have heard it. Tchiroma is calling on you. Cameroon is waiting for you. You don't need to sit back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Armel. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. President Tchiroma, do you have something to say now to close this conversation?
Yes, I have something to say, Mr. Michel. I just want to thank all the participants of this debate, and I'm calling all my brothers and sisters to concentrate on the future of our country. Our country is really down, and we all need to wake up to see how we can join our hand together to build our country. It's not about Issa Tchiroma. It's about Cameroon. We need to think about Cameroon. We need to think about the future. We need to think about the prosperity. And that's all what I'm trying to call people here to say that, listen, everybody have to stand up to fight for the future of our generation. And on the 12th, people have decided to choose Mr. Issa Tchiroma. And I think the same people have to join hands with all Cameroonians. We have to be together and to see how we can bring back the choice of the people, and let our country rule by a decent president who will take all our problems in consideration and try to make our country become a great country again. That's what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my dear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important to say that we are very happy, very happy.
Please, if I can add I can add a word. This is not Tchiroma's concern. Tchiroma is only one brain, 2 hands, and 2 feet. This is a concern of each and every one of us. The future is the future of our country. If you are a father or a mother, you need to understand this very well. You have to fight for your children. You have to fight for the younger generations, because tomorrow these generations will ask us one question: what did you do in 2025, 2026 when you went and you voted for a man? Did you sit down in your houses and you refuse to get into the battle?
Exactly.
It is now. This is a historic responsibility. We have to ask ourselves that question and really make up our mind to fight to the end. We lost it in 1992. We lost it in 2018. Now 2025. We shouldn't repeal that story. We shouldn't repeat it. We have to end this battle. Thank you very much.
Also, Armel, what I want to say, Armel, is about what you just said is very, very important. Some people just focus on Mr. Issa Tchiroma like he's the one who are. We're not fighting. We are not. Cameroon is not limited to Mr. Issa Tchiroma. As you just say, we are fighting for the future, for the generation, for the prosperity. That's what we need to focus and concentrate. So sometimes when I see some people put the energy on Issa Tchiroma, want to bring him down, no, it's not about Issa Tchiroma. It's about the country. And what happened on the 12th, some people have went to the vote and decided to choose Mr. Issa Tchiroma. It could be anyone. It could be me. It could be anyone. It could be no. All what we need to do, we need to respect the will and the choice of the people. If we are fighting for the people, that's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Michel, please, can I place a last word, please?
Let's go.
Okay. Just to follow with what Armel and President Tchiroma just said, the people of Cameroon are the ones who have the keys for the liberation of the nation. You see, what happened on October 12, 2025 was the result, the manifestation of frustrations, of tiredness of Cameroonians who need change more than ever. So Cameroonians, dear fellow compatriots, on October 12, 2025, we took the first step towards liberating our country from the dictator. We needed a motive. We needed these elections more than ever. And President Issa Tchiroma Bakari is now our motive. Now, the military personnel, the defense and security forces, they also need a motive. And we Cameroonians, we are the ones that will give these military personnel the motive to stand by us, to defend us. The more we will be on the war front, that is on the streets, the more they will have a justification to stand by us, to defend us as sovereign people. So, dear fellow compatriots, we needed the motive on October 12th, that was President Issa Tchiroma Bakari, and now the military personnel need us as their motive, so that their actions in protecting us from whichever militia of the dictator will be justified before us, all of us, and before the international community. So it's very important, dear fellow compatriots. We need to mobilize ourselves in numbers, in large numbers. We need to flood the streets with a lot of determination and get the job done. Enough is enough. We've gotten enough of this dictatorship. They've been killing us. They've been terrorizing us. They've been stealing our resources. They've been making things very hard for the past 44 years. It's high time, dear fellow compatriots, to join hands with our armed forces, our defense and security forces, and put an end to this dictatorship that's just been a curse, a curse. Ça, c'est une malchance. This just been a curse. We need to put an end to this curse, dear fellow compatriots. So that's just what I needed to add. And let's get ready. The president-elect is about to give the order for Cameroonians to move on, to go out on the streets and liberate the nation from the dictatorship. So let's be ready. Let's be ready to receive these orders from our president-elect and make sure the actions that we will take will effectively and reliably set our country free and free forever from dictatorship. Thank you.
Je vais dire quelque chose, Michel. Can I say something, Michel, in French? Because there are some people there who say that they don't listen English. If we can speak a bit in French.
On a eu une émission en français. On a produit naturellement le contenu en français, et si on le fait en français aussi, ce sera comme une triche. Il faut qu'on soit juste.
On peut interacter avec certains
c'est le Cameroun
qui disent qu'ils n'entendent pas français. Le Cameroun est quand même bilingue. C'est vrai que quand c'est français, ceux qui parlent français peuvent parler anglais. En fait, il y a beaucoup là qui disent qu'ils ne comprennent pas le décryptage qu'on fait en anglais. Je pense qu'on peut un peu leur expliquer cela en français pour que chacun puisse trouver son pain dans la soupe.
Allons-y.
Ce que je voulais dire à Abdourahmane, qui est là, qui dit qu'il ne comprend pas l'anglais, je vais essayer de condenser le discours du président Issa Tchiroma en quelques mots. En fait, c'est un discours qui repose sur deux balises, la conscientisation et la symbiose du peuple. Il appelle le peuple à l'unité et il fait comprendre à ce peuple que seul lui est le décideur et l'avocat et le juge de cette victoire du 12 octobre. Et je pense que dans son discours, il fait aussi appel à la conscientisation de l'armée. Parce que vous savez, on peut tout dire, il y a une armée au Cameroun qui a été, on peut le dire, démystifiée de ses fonctions républicaines. Parce qu'on peut le dire, une armée dans un pays a un rôle républicain. Une armée est là pour protéger les aspirations du peuple. Une armée n'est pas là pour servir un homme, non. Une armée, dans sa constitution constitutionnelle, dans un pays, a un rôle protecteur de la population. Mais nous voyons depuis un certain temps, dans notre pays, une transformation de notre armée qui a parfois dérapé dans certains comportements. Et le président Issa Tchiroma, ce jour, appelle cette armée à retrousser, à recomprendre son rôle. C'est ça la quintessence du discours du président Issa Tchiroma. Moi, c'est même un côté qui m'a beaucoup marqué, ce côté d'appeler l'armée à ne pas tirer sur les populations, à protéger les populations. Donc, c'est un peu ça qu'il faut retenir dans la quintessence du discours du président Issa Tchiroma. À côté de cela aussi, Abdourahmane, il demande que les forces vives de la nation puissent se joindre à lui pour qu'ensemble, nous puissions faire respecter le choix du 12. Et surtout, il fait comprendre que seul le peuple est le décideur de sa situation. Le futur du peuple appartient au peuple. Et seul le peuple a cette potion magique à faire bouger les choses. Donc voilà un peu la quintessence du discours du président Issa Tchiroma toujours, qui repose sur deux choses. La conscientisation de l'armée camerounaise et la symbiose et l'unité du peuple camerounais. Voilà. Allô? Allô Michel, tu es là? Ton micro dérange, on t'entend pas. Non, on t'entend pas, Michel. Tu as un problème de micro. Le son. Non, le son, ton son ne marche pas. Dans le son,
On
ton son n'est
t'entend
pas...
pas, hein, Michel.
On t'entend pas, Michel.
Je disais qu'il y a une application sur mon téléphone.
Là, c'est bon.
Voilà, en fait, c'est que j'ai essayé de connecter avec mes outils là. Donc, moi, je disais merci à tout le monde. Hein. Merci vraiment à tous ceux qui ont participé à l'émission. On va se séparer dans de bonnes conditions et on se retrouve pour d'autres contenus, je vous en prie. Vraiment, merci à tous.
Merci, Michel. Merci. Thank you very much.
So much,
Thank you.
Michel.
Bye-bye.
God bless you.
Très fort, merci.